All right, I'm ready when you are. So it's 6, right?
See.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back once again. Avenger 10. That's right. The Geek and the Redneck are back. Sully and JT are here to review episode number 6 of She-Hulk. What were their thoughts? What were their dreams? Were any fantasies fulfilled? Well, if you want to find out, you got to sit back, relax, get your adult beverage or your favorite drink. Have a good time with us. Sully, it's all yours.
Oh, why, thank you, sir. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Avenger Pretenders. I am Sully. That was JT with a wonderful live intro, because that's how we roll. Live intros. Boom! We're talking about She-Hulk, episode number 6, which means we only have a few left. Just a few. Most likely. Right? Two left, I believe we have, right?
Two to go, and then we dive straight into Andor.
Andor, yes, Andor. Mwahaha. So, yeah, that's going to be an interesting one since 3 episodes are out already. And,
Four
four will be tomorrow. Wednesday, right. So yeah, we've got a lot going on when it comes to TV shows these days, and oh my god, I'm running out of days. I was very I was very shocked when they released 3 45 to 50-minute episodes of Andor at once.
What the hell were they thinking?
They were thinking, hey, let's do this shit.
Have they lost their freaking mind?
Nope.
Well, maybe they wanted to do 8, but wanted to do it within the 6 time period, so they dropped 3 right off the bat. We got to find out how many episodes Andor. Anyway.
Yeah. For Andor, let's see here. I think they're only doing 6. Not 100% sure. Looking that up right now as we speak. Let's see. There is 12. 12 episodes. So now I know why they released all 3 at once, because they're going all the way up until November 23rd. So they're trying to get it all done before the holiday.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's going to be a long one. It's going to be a long one, that's for sure. So
well, I'll tell you what, folks. This is what's going to happen, okay? Avenger Pretenders is going to become Marvel exclusive. And when we're done with She-Hulk, be creating a Star Wars exclusive.
Absolutely.
show.
We're going to have to, because it's crazy.
Yeah. It will play on the same night as Avenger Pretenders. They're going to be out.
Yes.
But there's going to be separate ones. So we got to start trying to think up. Oh, cool robot and the dumb robot.
What?
The cool robot and the dumb robot.
Okay.
The geek and the redneck.
Yep, geek and the redneck. And,
so, smart robot, dumb robot.
Gives you a little bit of a punch to it.
You figure out which one is which.
Good luck with that, folks. Good luck with that.
I want to say hi to Carol. She's in the chat room. Good to see you.
Hi, Carol.
Carol, good friend from Canada. She'll be here for about 20 to 30 minutes, and then it'll be time to go crochet. So.
Maybe Carol can come up with a name for us for the Star Wars show.
There you go, Carol. Would you like to take on the challenge, Miss Carol, of coming up with a show for our Star Wars?
I think it would be great. I think she, you know, come up with a few names and we'll post it and we'll poll everybody.
There you go.
There we go. We'll poll everybody. I think it'd be great. So she says
she'll think about it.
There it is. That's what we like to hear. So
that's punchers speak for no.
which you know, if you think about it, we'd be able to do, you know, Marvel has their own thing, and then if we do our own Star Wars things, obviously would happen whenever a Marvel show is not on.
Right.
You know, we'll be able to not only keep it separate, but at the same time, new intro, you know, make things nice and pretty, because we don't do that
Get on
now.
Get on it, man.
And the cool thing is, even with that, if there's not a new show, we can always go back and watch some of the older shows, you know, like Clone Wars, Bad Batch. And if you're not watching Bad Batch, oh my God. Bad Batch is awesome. Awesome. You know,
what I've watched of it, yeah, it really is.
And you know, you could go from there, because we've been doing The Mandalorian. We did the Book of Boba Fett. So we've got all of that already.
Yep.
I can make new intros and re-upload it. There you go. There's a Star Wars one. But today, episode 6 of She-Hulk, and man, it was a pretty interesting one. Very interesting.
It was definitely totally off the norm.
Yes.
Of what episodes 1 through 5 have been. But
yes.
In a good way.
Oh, without a doubt.
In a good way. Usually when a show veers off of the norm like that.
Yeah.
From my experience, I think yours too, when they do that veer, it's usually not very good. But this one was, I enjoyed it. I did. I really enjoyed it.
And rightfully so, because it really was a decent episode. This week's episode, we see Jennifer Walters being invited to a friend's wedding. Aw. How adorable. How adorable. You know, a friend's wedding. The stress. Stress.
Yes. And, you know, I mean, the biggest stress being how ugly is the bridesmaid's dress going to be?
Oh, my God. Not even that. The bride.
Only if she's a bridezilla.
True.
Only if she's a bridezilla. We don't know if she's going to be or not, so.
Yeah, we do.
We know, but we don't.
We know, but you know. Because you know.
For show purposes, at this point, we don't know.
Yeah, exactly. So we're getting there. But the cool thing about it is it was done very well, obviously. And the episode opens up with Jen opening up a box saying that had her name on it, all written in nice calligraphy, and you're invited to a wedding. Yay! She looks over, she opens the box, and it's one of those boxes where you open it up and confetti just goes everywhere, and everybody hates that type of thing. It's just, I don't know what I would do if I ever got a box like that as a gift.
Those are good for packing.
Sure.
Not for invitations when you're asking somebody to be in your wedding.
Sure. You know? So she's invited to be a bridesmaid, and basically she's being told that she's a bridesmaid. Not, hey, will you be my bridesmaid?
Yeah.
You're in.
Yeah, will you be my bridesmaid? Open it up, of course, after all the sparkly crap falls down onto the floor to make it even worse with the confetti.
Yeah.
It says, of course you will.
So when that happens, Nikki tells Jen that she wants to see the super suit and that she should bring it, pack it with her, because you never know. And she's like, no, I'm never wearing this thing ever. So the
really
good
nice,
thing is,
but I'll never wear it.
The good thing is they're sticking, as of now, they're having her stick to her guns of not wearing the super suit to be the superhero, which is good. She's still trying to do the, well, this is just me type thing, and I don't want to do it this way because people.
She's still trying to be the normal Jen
Yeah,
when she can. Obviously when she's at work, she can't.
right.
Court, she can't. But any other time.
And don't get me wrong, I understand the reasoning behind it. I really do. I understand that, she wants to have that ability to be a normal person. The problem then becomes, as we find out, things are happening, not just to her, but behind the scenes and at the law firm. Because while she's away, Mallory Brooks, who represented her in the episode before, is working with her because she is part of the superhuman law division. She's another lawyer there because Jen runs it. Jen is the face of that.
She's the top dog.
Yeah, she's the head honcho, so to speak. And Mallory is like her second in command. When she's not here, Mallory takes over. Well, we meet a fellow by the name of Craig Hollis. Not JT's cousin. No, not JT's cousin. Fourth cousin twice removed.
fourth uncle 3 times.
Oh, okay. There you go. And
I got a big family.
And he insists on being called Mr. Immortal. So for the first time, we're seeing a character that, well, probably the second low bottom of the totem pole type of hero in Marvel coming into this show. And I called it. I did call it that. We're going to see a lot of the heroes that you never really hear of start popping up. So for Mr. Immortal, he is currently in the middle of a divorce case. Only the divorce case is not just to one person. It's a lot of people.
I want to say 8.
Yeah, I think it was 8. But at the same time, he was talking about walking into traffic and getting hit by a car.
Right.
Just to, get rid of the marriage and basically fake his own death. And he claims that he's immortal and that he can't die. And all he wants to do is, instead of filing for divorce, die. He just wants to get killed and die. And apparently he's doing it because, as he put it, it would be less of a toll on his wife than if they got divorced. I mean, I can see part of the logic, but as somebody married myself, I'm like, you dumb dipshit. You're just going to make things worse for yourself. Because really...
Well, that's basically what they told him.
Yeah, pretty much. So the best part is both Nikki and Mallory are like, oh, no, you didn't. Oh, no, you didn't. You did not walk in here and start talking about all this shit. And they were letting him have it and getting louder and louder and louder. And then he decides that he's just going to interrupt them and runs right through the window, breaking it, and falls to his death.
Does not like
Yeah, doesn't exactly. Yeah, doesn't like confrontation. Absolutely. So he just goes, wee. And the best part is their reaction, both Nikki and Mallory's reaction to him falling to his death, crushing a security car for the law firm. And they just go, well, that's one way to do it.
Right. That in the car that he's one of them little like Mini Cooper kind of cars,
Yeah, I think it was one of those.
Crashed it.
Yeah, it was one of their security cars, but it was kind of like their eco-friendly type Prius type thing. It wasn't exactly a Prius, but yeah, and he just demolished it. my thought was if there was a security guard that was actually in that driver's seat, he would have been dead. Or she. Both of them, out of the blue, bam. Roof's caved in because some idiot jumped out of a window. Pretty high up, too, mind you. So that was interesting. And at the same time, Jen arrives at the wedding, and she arrives as She-Hulk. Figuring, I'm She-Hulk. I'm going to arrive as She-Hulk. I'm going to look fabulous. And then Titania arrives. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Not only does she arrive, but she also goes on to this big whole spiel of, being friends with one of the groomsmen. And the bride, Lulu, flat out tells her that everything's not about you. And I want you to be just Jen for the wedding. No She-Hulk. I don't want
Then they did the reopening for She-Hulk with just Jen.
Just Jen, yes. So obviously Lulu didn't want all the attention on her because it was her wedding day. I get it. It's her wedding day.
Totally understandable.
Completely understandable. But Jen kind of made it about her anyway. I don't know why, but she did. But you can see that even as just Jen, all of the bridesmaids, even the bride, was basically dumping everything on her, from cleaning to, making sure things are done the right way, so on and so forth. And you can see it's kind of getting to Jen a little bit. But at the same time, she's saying to herself, if I was She-Hulk, I wouldn't be doing this. You can see it working in her brain. So she decides that she's just going to get drunk. Just going to get drunk.
Well, and the way that Lulu was treating her, I mean, best friends at school and everything. And then they, like she said in the show, they kind of drifted apart as time went by and they haven't talked in a long time.
Yes.
But then she turns around and, if I remember the line right, it was half of the staff has quit because of the way that I'm treating them.
Yes.
So I need you to help out and maybe, basically turn into a freaking bar wench and start collecting glasses and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And, and the rest of the episode, she treated her, Jen, crap. If one of my friends, after we reconnected, was to treat me the way that Lulu treated Jen, I'd have smacked him across the face, walked out the door.
Yeah.
Because I have too much pride in myself to let somebody treat me that way.
Indeed. And it wouldn't have been good.
So and that's why she's like, what? I need it. And she goes up to the bartender and she goes, pour me a heavy one.
Yeah.
And the bartender's reply was, that'll be $5 extra. They pan over to the cash bars.
And boy, was she drinking.
Oh, she had at least 4 that we saw.
Or at least that one. So we fast forward to back at the law office with Mallory and Nikki. And they're meeting with multiple wives of Mr. Immortal.
And I'm still trying to get a firm number on it, but they talk about it, but they don't talk about how many wives.
I think if they were all there, I think there was like maybe 8 or 9 of them.
I think it's either 8 or 9.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to. I mean, it's a minor detail, but Valerie popped from Facebook, said, popping in for a moment. Good to see you.
What's up, buddy? My buddy. Valerie's my buddy. Hope you're staying safe and dry down there.
Must be in Florida.
Oh, she's got a hurricane coming up the wazoo soon. Yeah. Yep. Yep, absolutely. So they're meeting with the wives, And, well, out of most of them, he faked his death multiple times. So for them who have, done funerals and all this good stuff, they've spent the money and, found out that he's alive. They are now going through what they feel they are owed in the divorce. Because if you think about it, even though he faked his own death, still technically married. You're still alive. So yeah. Well, that.
Oh, actually, I think it was 8 wives and 1 husband.
Yes.
Can't forget the husband.
So they come up with this whole big thing to be the possible of everybody gets equal parts of the divorce. And that's when one of the wives went, wait a minute. I've been married to him for 18 years. Why should this person get more than me? And then another person said, well, I have a kid with him. Why should you get more than me? Because I have a kid with him. Why should
we pay for your mistake?
Right. So, exactly. So it's all a whole big cluster that's going on. And that was very interesting for the fact that Mr. Immortal didn't even want to look at these people. He wanted nothing to do with them and just get it over with and be done. And from there, they start fighting in the room. Fast forward to the day of the wedding, and Jen's drunk dialing Bruce.
And in this case, the bridesmaid dress really wasn't that bad.
Oh yes, the bridesmaids' dresses looked fabulous.
Very nice.
They looked wonderful. Yeah,
nice and flowy and comfortable, and they didn't look like freaking big birds walking around.
Correct. Which is what I believe Jennifer said as one of the lines. At least it's not ugly. 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 Don't want that. So, as she's drunk calling Bruce, he doesn't pick up, obviously, because, well, he can't. He's in space.
Kind of out in the galaxy.
Yeah. He's in space. He's on probably on Sakaar doing something, but he's out in space. And she gets to the point where this guy Miller sits down next to her and they start talking. And, they start hitting it off and so on and so forth. And she starts going on about She-Hulk and for having to leave and throw up. And she does. She throws up. And Titania just so happens to be there, shows up, and punches her. Knocks her to the ground, punches her, throws her around, and she says she wants She-Hulk. She wants to fight She-Hulk, not just Jen.
Wants to embarrass She-Hulk in front of everyone.
Yes, she wants to embarrass She-Hulk in front of everyone. And Jennifer is just sitting there going, I'm not turning. I promised I wouldn't. Which she did. She did promise that she wouldn't turn. She did
promise. Yes.
But
and then she couldn't.
Yes, because she was so drunk.
She was so freaking drunk that she couldn't remember how.
Yeah. She would drunk. She was drunk big time. So Titania baits her. Kept telling her, listen, I want to fight you. I want to embarrass you. And look, you're so drunk you forgot how to turn. And then she just concentrates a little harder. And she turns. She turns into She-Hulk. She rips the shoes and whatnot. And all of a sudden, she's sober. Sober, clear as day. Boom. Oh, here we are. And she gets to the point where she knocks the ground, she knocks her over, she kicks her, she punches her into the room. She goes flying, she knocks into people. Then she trips and falls and smashes her face. And it looked like, what is it? What are those called? They weren't...
Her caps.
Caps, that's right. The caps for her teeth to make them so nice and straight. So the goal of embarrassing She-Hulk didn't happen. Didn't happen at all.
kind of went the other way. Oh.
It reversed. Exactly. It was one of those things that just backfired. So from there, they're fighting at the wedding. And, you know, Jennifer's cousin, who is the DJ of the wedding, is chanting the fight, and people are actually enjoying it.
Yep.
And then Titania runs out, and the bride runs in. And at first, you know, you think, I'm sure you thought of it too. We were sitting there thinking, you know,
oh, hell.
she's going to get in so much trouble now because
She gonna be the bride is gonna butt her own Godzilla.
Yes. But instead, she says, she hulks at my wedding.
Well, and it was because as soon as she starts talking,
Yeah.
because she walks up semi-slowly, Hulk. But as soon as she starts talking, tell it, wait. And then as she goes in, you know, she says, oh my God, she hooked up my wedding in one eye. She's like, ah. You know, and I'm like, oh my, I busted out laughing. I mean, beautiful portrayal of a drunk person.
Oh, hands down.
You know, gives her a big old hug, and then they kind of walked out, showed him walking out the door that the bride came in.
Yeah.
Arm in arm, hand in hand kind of thing.
Hands down. It's craziness.
Funny. Very funny.
And then they start partying.
You know, definitely the opposite of what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. And then they start partying and they're having a good time. They're dancing. They're doing everything. Happy ending to the wedding. Well, we fast forward to the law office, and Nikki is now sitting on a table. Basically
Cutting the deal with each one of them.
Yeah. She's going through every single wife and then the husband, telling them exactly what he's up to offer, and they're all accepting of everything. They're all accepting the terms. And I think one of them wanted money, but said, no, you're getting an apology.
Yeah,
what was it?
I think it was the last wife.
A 20-second apology face-to-face.
You're getting 20 seconds of meaningful eye contact.
Yes, with an apology.
20 seconds of meaningful eye contact with an apology.
Yes. So that was interesting that they did that. And once they agreed, that was it. They agreed on it. They shook hands. They did whatever they needed to do, and they were done. And then we Yep, go ahead.
The funny thing is that while she's now she's just a lawyer's helper, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of what the technical name
she's
for
a paralegal.
She's a paralegal. You know, so she really doesn't have any lawyerly rights, you know?
Right.
But she goes through and she does all of this, and they show the lawyer and Mr. Immortal leaning against the wall behind her.
Yes.
While she's going through all this. They all agree. Around looks at the lawyer. The lawyer looks at Mr. Mortal and goes, do you agree?
Yes, I did.
She didn't even do anything. Nikki did all the work.
But that was the thing, you know, and when it comes to that, that's usually what happens in that type of situation. You know, if you have to, you know, get the paralegal involved to talk to the people, that's what happens, you know? So I thought it was very, very interesting. I want to say hi to Lady Death, who just chimed in because she got interrupted and why she's late. It's okay. You're here. That's all that matters. And thank you for subscribing for 44 straight months. Boom. We'll make a bigger to-do tomorrow. Oh, yes. We will. Be awesome. So after the case and everything, they start they start looking into Mr. Immortal a little bit more, and they come up with a website called Intelligentsia. Now, think of Intelligentsia as the Reddit of the dark web. This is the social media account type thing where they are basically doing death threats to people. And when they're going to attack and so on and so forth. And they found this looking up Mr. Immortal, but then they noticed Jennifer Walters, She-Hulk. And Nikki starts going through and, finds all this information. And of course, Mallory says, you can't tell her. You can't tell her. And since Nikki is Jennifer's best friend, she goes, well, of course I'm going to tell you.
Yeah, and I give credit to, what'd you say her name was? The lawyer? The
Mallory.
lawyer? Mallory. I give credit to Mallory because she's, she wants to keep as much off of Jen's plate as she can.
Absolutely.
Not, I wouldn't say as a friend, but as a fellow associate, that kind of thing. As a acquaintance.
Acquaintance, yes.
Yes, because they are not friends, according to Mallory.
We work with each other. We're going shit that way.
So credit to Mallory for trying to protect Jen.
Yes.
But more credit to Nikki for understanding that she's trying to protect her friend, but feeling that she would protect her friend more by letting her friend know that there's people out there making death threats towards her.
Yes. But like you said, Mallory flat out said she doesn't need that in her head right now, which is true. She doesn't. So obviously Nikki calls her. You think she's talking to her, but she's actually leaving a voicemail.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling that we're going to see a little bit more on Intelligentsia, mostly because of things going on that we'll get into shortly.
I think it's going to be a major part of the storyline going forward.
Yeah. Mostly because toward the end of the episode, you can see we see Jen eating French fries with Miller, the guy that she met at the wedding, and that's when we cut to scientists in a lab. Who knows? But they're spying.
The thing with it was they were spying on her, but then they kind of scan through.
Yes.
And they show a guy carrying one of them little radioactive box kind of thing.
Yeah.
Opens it up. And in one hand, he's got the box. In one hand, he's got the syringe from when they attacked She-Hulk in episode 2.
Yeah.
And tried to get her blood. And he sets the box down. He puts the needle down. He opens the box. Puts this. It damn near looked like a straw.
It looked like a horse needle.
It's a freaking metal needle that's probably yay long with holes in it.
Yeah.
Going all the way down. And he puts that on the top of a syringe cylinder, really fancy kind of one. Puts it back in the box, and there's 3 of them.
A big one.
So it's like
Mystique.
They're still going for the blood.
Yeah. They're going for it. They're trying to do whatever they need to do. So from there, we have Easter eggs. First and foremost, the first Easter egg is obviously the fourth wall break, where she flat out says, oh, look, it's an episode that is definitely an inconvenient time, like all weddings are. They fall during an inconvenient time.
Why would you do a wedding on a Thursday?
Right? I mean, I've seen people do it on Mondays.
I've seen them done on every day of the damn week.
But most weddings are the weekend.
Yes.
Keep it to a weekend.
Most weddings, people are, at least think about their guests. Hey, they might have to work on Thursday, so let's do it Saturday, Sunday.
Sure, and that's okay too. It's just one of those things where you're like, you know what? Yeah, some weddings are very inconvenient. Not all,
Yes.
some, and you have to stress that. Because some people who may say, hey, it's a wedding, will think, hey, this is supposed to be a really good thing, and you're ruining it for me. To each their own. That's all I can
being
say.
a freaking Brazilian bitch.
Yeah, right? Like, knock it off. knock it off and just have some freaking fun, will you? So our aside from the inconvenient part of this episode, obviously the next one would be Mr. Immortal. Mr. Immortal, look at that. There he is, right over there in your top right corner. Mr. Immortal. He actually debuted in 1989 for Marvel Comics, which I did not know about until very recently.
Go.
Because I had to look.
Sully learned something from this episode.
I did. I learned something. I learned
Life's miracles never see.
Never what?
Never see.
Yeah, well, I mean, it happens. But yes, Mr. Immortal debuted in 1989 in the West Coast Avengers. And he was actually a leader of the Great Lake Avengers. So there's more Avenger comic books out there that that show the wonderful Mr. Immortal. And yeah, he can't die. He can't.
I would not want that as a power.
What?
I would not want that as a power.
You know what? Neither would I unless I was Deadpool.
Well, there are some, but I mean, just being kind of, guys,
Sure.
would not want to have that.
Yeah. So the good thing about the whole storyline with Mr. Immortal is they actually did that in the comic books with the multiple wives. So it was a very good callback to not only the comics, but his debut and so on and so forth. So I like that they kept that part of the humor involved. It was hysterical, absolutely hysterical, especially since he did everything so nonchalantly. Want to say hi to Toby, who just came in and is talking in the chat room to the ladies. Ladies man is what he is.
He said, agree.
Yeah. The other one, which I thought was pretty good, was there's actually multiple. You had a Twilight reference. Oh yeah. They did it. They had Twilight, but they also had other Disney films like Inside Out. They also had DreamWorks Shrek was mentioned because Jolly Green. It's happened, but there was a lot of late 2000s references, and of course with the Twilight reference that we're referring to at the what was it wasn't the wedding, it was the party before. It was like the
rehearsal dinner.
The rehearsal dinner / get together where a couple of bridesmaids are arguing whether it should be Team Edward or Team Jacob. Personally,
and that's also where she gets to who she will be standing with the wedding.
Yes.
Which I'm sure is another Easter egg.
Yes. So from there, we have Titania being a party crasher. She's already there. She was dating a friend of the groom.
And Jen called it. Jen called it from the start. The only reason you're here.
Yes.
Is to get to me. It's the only but I'm dating one of the best friends of the groom.
Right.
Very convenient.
Yeah. So the other reference is obviously the call to Bruce, where she's trying, as she put it, I've been trying to get a hold of you for weeks or months or days or whatever. And clearly,
the drunk person's timeline.
Yeah. And then of course she calls him a ding dong, which, hey, it works. What does he call her?
Oh God,
Shaggy? No, I forget. What the freaking hell does he call?
I would have to go back and watch episode.
What does Bruce call Jennifer Walters? Let's see here. Fuzzball. That's it. Fuzzball. Who said that?
Credit to Nick Hyatt for that one.
Sweet. It works because, the hair, curly hair and all. Then, of course, we have Ched as the incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
Good old cousin Ched being the DJ, and he says the incredible Hulk. Basically,
Got the shirt. He's got the shirt.
Yep.
You know, his shirt.
Yep. Shirt. And I can show you. I can prove it. I can prove it because that's how we roll. Oh, yeah. He's got the shirt on.
Here's a question for you, Sully. Did you see or did you catch comic scene during the credits involving Chet?
Yeah, I believe so, yeah.
We'll talk about more when
I'm trying to recall it, though. I'm trying to recall.
We'll talk about it. Yeah, we'll talk about it when we get to it.
Yeah, I'm trying to recall it. Also, we have, like I said, Intelligentsia, which is, the dark web of, Reddit, basically. And there's also a reference to Hulk King. Now, if you don't know the reference to the Hulk King and what I mean, you kind of have to really pay attention to it because it's an emoji. Emoji of the Hulk's face with a crown on it. All right. So if you didn't see it, go back, wait until the end, and you'll see on the computer lab screen. There it is up in the top right corner there. You'll see the emoji of the Hulk with the crown on it. So that was really cool for them having that.
Ready to go.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Want to say bye-bye to Carol. She's heading out.
Oh, bye, Carol. See you later. See you
Carol.
tomorrow. Tomorrow will be fun. Just saying. It's going to be awesome. So the Hulk King was a nice little emoji tie that, brings it to the day. So obviously not a lot of Easter eggs, but they're there. They are there. References to the comics, which I've been really liking the references. They're very subtle. The fourth wall breaks have been phenomenal. We've been mentioning it since episode 1. The end of this week's episode did not have a cutscene.
2 episodes in a row now.
After the mid-credits. So, yeah, like JT said, 2 weeks in a row, which, that's okay.
Like I said, what's up with that, Marvel?
What's up with that? What's up with that? So,
you give us 4 episodes in a row with mid-scene, mid-credits.
Yeah.
Stop.
Well,
that's calling them freaking cheap.
I mean, I can understand why.
No.
Yeah, I can.
No, you start them, you got to keep going. Come on. What do you expect from a redneck?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
So, since we're pretty much done, the scene, the cartoon drawing scene that I was referring to, that was kissing the bride.
Oh yeah.
Have to look close to figure out who he's kissing, but you remember when she's walking up to Hulk, she has that big freaking white fuzzball thing on the side of her head.
Yep.
In the cartoon panel, Chet's there with his hat on, kissing the bride because she got the big fuzzball thing on the side of her.
Right.
And I mean kissing, like dip kissing kind of kiss.
Oh yeah. Yeah, now I remember. Now that I'm like replaying it in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Nope. You're right. You're right.
And the funny thing is, I saw that and I'm like, that's
it's Ched.
Like maybe.
What? Your mic just cut out.
I said like maybe he, previously knew this girl or something, or dated this girl or something. Yeah.
I would think so, only because of 1, being hired as the DJ, 2, cousins with Jennifer, and Jennifer was friends with her. So yeah, I'm sure that it's there. The other thing,
something.
The other thing that we have to remember with intelligentsia, one of the members was Ulysses Claw.
Hmm.
Yeah, from Age
I
of
remember. I do recall
Ultron.
seeing that.
Age of Ultron and Black Panther. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They actually mentioned that in Age of Ultron.
Yeah,
It's mentioned in it. So now we're going back
a long way.
12 years,
Hmm.
right? When did Age of Ultron come out?
Uh,
Age of Ultron. 2015. 2015 Age of Ultron came out. So, yeah. We're going all the way back to the second Avengers movie.
And it actually premiered in Los Angeles April 13th of 20.
Yeah. So now we've got some interesting tie-ins, which to me is a good thing.
Right.
It's a very, very good thing. When it comes down to it, I'm curious as to what they're gonna do next.
Mm.
I mean, we only have two episodes left, so
They definitely threw, some wrenches in things by doing this kind of episode, and just like I said, just taking that freaking left turn way out into left center field,
yeah,
with what they did with this, but they kind of pulled it back in a little bit with the fight with Titania, trying not to say it. With fight with her, and then they pulled it back even more with the scene at the end with the needle case and all that. So
right.
it's going to be interesting to see where, and like you said, there's only 2 episodes left, so they don't have a lot of time because the episodes are only about 25 minutes.
Yeah,
so they don't have a lot of time to get a lot of stuff in.
and I'm wondering,
Especially, Daredevil. I mean, Daredevil's got to come in next episode.
oh, at least either next
You would
episode
think.
or the last episode, and the thing with that is, you also have to worry about Echo, because Echo's coming out next year, which Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio are also reprising their roles in. So we know they're going to be around. I mean, the fact that that Daredevil is going to be in California for She-Hulk is, pretty cool. So obviously it's going to be a Superhuman Law Division related. But I'm also wondering if they're going to be bringing in some more villains. And the only reason why I say that, and it's just speculation, one of the things that Intelligentsia had a part of, aside from Ulysses Claw, you had MODOK, the leader, which supposedly the person who played Mr. Blue in the Incredible Hulk movie with Ed Norton is going to be reprising his role as the leader, because he had the blood fall into the cut on his head and his brain started morphing and doing whatever. So that could be a possibility. Could be.
A lot of speculation.
Dr. Samuel Stearns, Mr. Blue, also known as the leader.
It will be interesting to see what they do to pull everything back into focus.
Yeah.
With as far out of focus as they pushed everything with this episode, but I think they did it on purpose. I think they did it on purpose. Why, I'm not sure, but I think they did.
So Tim Blake Nelson, he's the one who played Samuel Stearns in the Incredible Hulk movie, is reprising his role as the leader in Captain America: New World Order.
Comes out next.
Which comes out in 2024. May of 24. So we're
Year and a
going to
half.
see some interesting things going on.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see how they tie all this together. And like I said, bring everything back into focus with She-Hulk,
Yeah.
because I mean, I think this episode was kind of a risk with as far outside of the storyline went,
I agree.
and basically going from She-Hulk the lawyer to Jen the bridesmaid and partial slave, um, and all of She-Hulk's responsibility is dealing with Mr. Immortal and everything going to Melanie.
Yeah.
How are they going to pull that back together? And to me, it's just an intriguing thought.
Like maybe we're going to need 2 longer episodes,
I wouldn't mind that.
which is a possibility.
I wouldn't mind.
Because I mean, right now the episodes are about 30 minutes
25
long.
minutes.
They're about 30 minutes long, give or take. So, I mean, I think anything can happen, really.
Yeah,
Really
it's going to be interesting to see what they do in these last two. Either way,
Yeah.
because they got to wrap everything up, and set things up for, possible season 2 and all this, and they've only got 2 shows to do it in. So
Yeah. So,
it's going to be interesting.
So my question to you, my friend, how many gamma bombs do you give it?
This was a tricky episode. Like I said, I like what they did with going off into left field. It was totally unexpected. I was expecting to get into another lawyer case and bubble and all that kind of stuff, but they went way to hell out here, which to me was a big risk.
Yeah.
It was a fun episode with respect to, everything that happened to Jen at the wedding and Nikki doing what Nikki does.
Yep.
With 9 X's for Mr. Immortal. I'm torn. I am actually torn on this one. Which way I want to go. You know what? I'm going to be the asshole this episode.
Oh, here we go.
I'm going to be the asshole this episode. I think that them going off the way they did on the tangent that they went and everything, I'm going to give it a 3.5.
All right.
3.5. It's a good episode. Not near as good as any of the previous episodes ahead of it.
You know what? I'm right there with you with the 3.5.
Really?
I am.
Wow, that's surprising.
Well, the main reason is, as they stated in the beginning of the episode, wasn't a really good time for it. It's very inconvenient.
But it was perfectly timed.
Absolutely. Perfectly timed. Perfectly timed. So I will go with a 3.5 for that, just like you. Only because it was.
Wow.
Yeah, maybe push it to a 4. Maybe.
Well, and I was going to use I wish they would have had a mid-credit scene, because that might have helped me go to a 4.
Yeah, it might have given it a little bit of a jolt.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is, believe it or not, Nakaya is with us again, because she's also giving it a 3.5.
There you go.
I was fighting with myself because of the end scene, the way that they ended the episode, because it really snapped everything back to reality.
Yes.
Real life, where even when you're out having fun,
shit's going down.
And forgetting about real life for a while, like we do guys on Tuesday nights, and we do for ourselves on Tuesday nights, when it gets to the point where you got to come back to real life, it's
Yes.
more than likely going to suck ass.
Yes.
So that was what was kind of making me unsure of where I wanted to go.
Okay.
I don't think it deserved a 3, but I don't think it deserved a 4 either.
Right.
Like Nakia says, it was lacking something. There was just something missing. And that's why I say this is the worst episode. It was a good episode. I enjoyed it. I won't say good. It was a great episode. But there was just something missing that separated it from episodes 1 through 5.
Yeah.
So
I'd have to agree with you on that one.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that felt this way, because I would have been like, well, I missed something if you'd have come out with like a 4.5, 4.25, which is what I was expecting.
Right.
I was expecting like a 4.25, 4.5 from you. So
yeah, no, I mean, not with this one, because like I said, it was one of those where the timing was perfect, but just like the beginning of the episode,
it was strange.
It was.
There was just something off about it.
It was just like Lady Death just said. It was lacking something. It was lacking.
It can't be the fight scene, because the fight scene between her and Titania
was great.
It was a great fight. I laughed my ass off when Jen couldn't transform because she was too freaking drunk and didn't remember how.
I don't know how to do this.
What? I can't. I don't remember how I do it.
I don't know how
that
to
was
do this.
Funny as hell.
I don't know how to do this, and I need to know how to do this.
It was kind of like Stout and She-Hulk took over,
Yeah. So
because the eyes closed, and then they opened it.
Like, hello.
Like I said, it was a perfectly timed, ill-timed episode. It's like the Seinfeld's episode about nothing.
But they were all about nothing.
But this was the all about nothing.
Just like our show is about nothing.
Pretty much.
And Toby says the same thing. Agreed. It's a very perfectly timed, ill-timed episode.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're all in agreement.
There was just something strange about it.
Yes. So, I mean, it's still good, though. Still good. So, that's episode 6 of She-Hulk. 7 comes out this Thursday. Andor episode 4 comes out Wednesday.
Okay.
We're not going to touch it until after She-Hulk is done. And as JT stated at the beginning of the show, we are going to start separating the shows between Avenger Pretenders and, the MCU and Star Wars, because it's just getting hard.
Well, and it doesn't feel right, Avenger Pretender reviewing Marvel.
Yeah.
Or reviewing Star Wars, we need to kind of narrow that in a little bit.
We're going to do some Star Wars stuff is what we're going to do.
I still think Smart Robot, Cool Robot, or Smart Robot, Dumb Robot would be a good title.
How about Droid?
Nah.
Smart Droid, Dumb Droid, because that's what they're called. They're called droids.
Very true, very true. What? Smart Droid, Dumb Droid, that works. As long as it's the smart and the dumber.
Well, Dumb Droid and Dumber Droid.
No, because then everybody's going to think of Dumb and Dumber.
Dumb and Dumber droids. We're the droids and the droids and the dumb droids. We'll make it work. We'll figure it out.
My thinking was, you had C-3PO. He was the smarty guy. He's the one that knew everything. And that's you.
No.
And then there was He was the cool. He was the red. That's
R2-D2 was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So was BB-8, for crying out loud.
Oh, we can't even touch. We can't even touch.
So
Echo can't even touch.
Yeah, right. Well, there you go.
Oh.
So that, my friends, is this week's episode of Avenger Pretenders. Like I said, Andor episode 4 comes out on Wednesday on Disney+. She-Hulk Episode 7 comes out on Disney Plus. Disney Plus does not sponsor the show. It'd be really cool if they did. And yes, we're going to keep that joke going for a very long time.
For eternity plus.
Because, you know, we're promo whores. We got no problem promoting shit. Anyway, for myself and JT, you've been watching Avenger Pretenders. We will see you guys tomorrow for the Sully Show at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So make sure you mark it in your calendars, set an alarm, tell your friends, post it on your Twitters, your Facebooks, your... Is Google Plus even a thing still?
Well, it's everything plus, so it probably...
Yeah. Toby says R2-D2 actually had more processors than C-3PO. Yes, because Anakin messed with them. No loose wire jokes. We don't do that. And I would say, have a great night, everybody, and we will see you tomorrow for the Sully Show. So tell your friends, if everybody brought one person in, we would double our listener audience and participation every single day. So keep
I'll make sure I loosen my wire.
Yeah, loosen the wires and the screws. That'll be fun. So have a great night, everybody. We will see you next week for Avenger Pretenders. Later, people. Later. Have fun. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.